Hello, everybody. I'm Richie. Sorry, I'm a little late. I had to restart my computer, and my computer's old, so it's kind of slow. But let me double check to make sure that I am on. Hey, Stacy. Oh, good. Hey, Jen. All right. Basically, this community tour is for most of it is really for people who aren't used to the community, like they're kind of new to the platform. But I am going to go over where you can find some things at. And I decided since there's 2 weeks in November, and there's so much stuff still. I'm just about done with everything. So I'm just going to upload everything that I have so far today after we get done with this. But I'm going to go ahead and upload the nature study while we're live. And it's so pretty. And I'll walk you through a little bit of that. But then, I have a lot more things that I wanted to show you and where you can find things in the community and the library and the events and just different things. So basically, it's really for people who aren't really used to, where to find things. But even saying that, you still might need to know where different things are at for the club. So hang on just a second. Okay. Ever since I stopped drinking monsters, those coffee, I gotta have the coffee. So, but you can have too much coffee, you know. But all right, let's see. Let's see where we okay. So yeah, so sorry I am late getting on. Like I had to restart my computer and it's an old computer. So and it's like loud right now with the fan as I'm doing this. So hopefully it works. All right. So just a little bit about me because I know people are going to watch the replay. If you don't know me, my name is Richie and I'm a single homeschool mom of 3 kids. We live in East Texas. I have a 15-year-old boy, a 14-year-old girl, and a 7-year-old little boy too. We we started homeschooling whenever my oldest was in his last year in public school he was going in first grade. So he was going into second grade in homeschool. So everything except for kindergarten, I guess. Well, Scout was in kindergarten in homeschool. So I've done almost all the grades, I guess. Um, but I've also been on the other side with the public school and how to pull your kids out of school and how to manage that. Like I've seen both sides of the spectrum. How to manage your house and home and work and all that stuff when your kids are in public school. And then on the other side, for homeschooling, staying at home, even working at home later on, and then, managing your home while your kids are here, homeschooling. So I've done both sides of it, and it's really interesting. Like there's pros and cons to both. But we're not going into that right now. So that's where I'm at right now. So 3 kids, and so I have two that are in high school. And actually, my 15 and 14-year-old, they're both in ninth grade. So it's pretty easy, or at least it was for a while, to homeschool because I could just do it. I can just double whatever I was getting, or I can make a bunch of copies for one curriculum. But now, and it was easy, like with scheduling wise, but now since I have a littler one in the mix, that see I didn't know, but God knew that I needed to get used to homeschooling for a little while, and then here comes the little one. So then that has been my challenge. So God just knows, he just knows our path. He just knows, what we need, and what we're ready for, and what we need to go through first before we have something else ahead that comes into our lives. So that's been my challenge now is scheduling. And even still, he's what grade's he in? Second. So he's in second grade now. So it's not really like when you have little ones in elementary school, it's not really hard focused with things. I mean, you can it's more playful. You can learn a lot by playing, and it's just a lot more colorful. But then the older they get, the more stringent the academics have to be, because then once they're entering high school, they're preparing for after high school, whether that's going to college or a gap year or traveling or community college or whatever, or military, whatever the case may be. So when you get up, the more you homeschool, the longer, you tighten that ship just a little bit more. So it's interesting having a tight ship with my olders and then being a little bit more loosey goosey with my younger one. Um, Not to say that academics aren't focused on all around, but it's just a little bit more relaxed when you have younger kids. And honestly, it's a little bit more fun. So, but then you get older kids, you have to, they have a mind of their own when they're teenagers, and don't even get me started on that. But that is why we have the High School Legacy Club. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm really glad that you're here. I'm part of Homeschooling Humor. And from Homeschooling Humor, we created the Homeschool Momentum Club. Okay. Um, okay, go ahead and get coffee, Jen. I just drank the rest of mine. Almost, just about. All right. So a little bit about the Homeschool Momentum Club. It is one. So you have 6 memberships in one. So you have the larger overarching Homeschool Momentum Club. Okay. And even just with that in itself, that branch in itself, you have monthly content packs and you have custom AI chatbots and unlimited access to like the resources and products in the library. Um, and we have monthly challenges. So that comes with a whole bunch of goodies itself. But then it also comes with access to the other 5 memberships. So we have the History Club, the High School Legacy Club, the Nature Study Club, Scripture Club, and the Audio Club. So just a little bit of what each one is. So I already told you about the Homeschool Momentum overarching club. And that one really, though, it's more focused on moms. Um, it's more of your management tier, just to kind of help with structure and organization. But then we have like fun things in there as well. But really, this Homeschool Momentum Club, the idea is that you can gain consistency and momentum in your homeschool, instead of all like I always had the problem with backtracking and second guessing myself and just wait, are we should I do this? Is this the right way? It's just, checking myself every so often. And so I guess the Homeschool Momentum Club is, your way of checking yourself. Okay. And it also helps build those rhythms and the structure for your homeschool. And it helps build that rhythm, and then staying consistent in that rhythm. And whenever you like kind of stray away from your ultimate homeschool educational goal, then hopefully the Momentum Club can be your anchor and it draws you back in so that, you can get refreshed and reset in your vision for your homeschool. Okay, so that's why it's the Homeschool Momentum Club, to kind of keep your motivation and your momentum as you go through homeschool. And I wanted the main overarching tier to be the foundational one, the foundational membership, because moms need to be fulfilled in a way where we need to be stronger because we are carrying everything in our homeschool. We are carrying our children, our husbands, and house, and bills, and extracurricular activities, and church, and travel, and toys, and holidays, and birthdays, and just everything that we have to manage. Multiple kids, multiple times. So, mom really needs to be okay for everything else to be okay. She really does. When mom's running ragged, there's a lot of more room for error and room for, just responsibilities or priorities or things that matter to you falling in the cracks. And so that's why the Homeschool Momentum Club is here to, serve as a backbone for the homeschool moms so that you do have somewhere to fall back on. And you do have a community of other moms who are here to lift you up and remind you why you're doing this in the first place. So that is where the momentum comes in. So we want moms to be fulfilled, feel encouraged, feel supported, and just feel like you know what comes next instead of asking, okay, what comes next? Okay. So that's the Momentum Club. And then after that, we have the high school. I'll go to the High School Legacy Club next because it is very true. There are very minimal resources out there the older your children gets. There's like tons of resources for preschoolers and, the lower elementary, and I myself am so guilty of making lower elementary things because it's colorful and bright and fun, and that information, like what they're supposed to learn, right? But then the older they get, the more you have to like know what they're going to learn as they grow and progress through the grade levels. So the high school legacy club is here to help you know what your children needs as they prepare for high school. And then as you're in high school, help with support in just managing the whole high school journey itself with credits and transcripts and such, and then preparing for college with credits and transcripts and such. So, but along with that comes like scholarships, test prep. So it's just there to prepare your high schooler for high school, during high school, and beyond high school. And I'm not talking about this is high school curriculum because you can purchase that somewhere else. And I myself am not an expert in high school curriculum. Okay. So I can learn all day long, what they're supposed to learn in high school, but I don't know how to teach that. I don't know all the information about chemistry, which was the least subject that I liked. But, but you can't withhold things that you don't like. You have to at least introduce a number of things to your high schoolers. And so I'm pretty sure that not one of us know absolutely everything there is to know about high school subjects. So if that is what you want, then that is not the Homeschool Legacy Club. The Homeschool Legacy Club is there for support with your high schooler. For the high school years. It might include some high school resources or curriculum-ish things, and I have a number actually of curriculum and resources I'll be uploading right after this. So I have that stuff anyway. But the main focus is helping prepare your high schooler. Okay, because that's always the number one. Um, Let me plug in, my laptop's dying. But that's always like the number one struggle, it seems, whether you're new in homeschooling or you've been homeschooling and then your child's going into high school, that seems to be the moment where homeschool moms shift back into public school. Just because of the lack of confidence and just faith in yourself that you're able to teach your child in high school years. Okay. That doesn't mean you have to be an expert in everything to teach your child. It just means that you're there to support and you have the curriculum there, okay, to help with high school. But on the other side of that, you need to know, the high school curriculum that exists and how to structure things. And you need to know about financial aid or post high school with the college. The best ways to get scholarships and transcripts, or not transcripts, but scholarships and grants. Um, all that kind of information, like maybe even life skills, in fact, February is financial literacy for teens. Okay. So, um, actually, I'll show you what we're gonna be doing here in just a second. But yeah, so, just life skills and things that your teen just really needs that's pretty much outside of curriculum, like with life, okay, and preparation, things like that. So that mom can feel good and solid homeschooling her high schooler. But then, everything that you learn in the High School Legacy Club, you're expected to pass on to your high schooler, okay? So we are equipping you with the confidence and the know-how to then proceed with these different avenues for your high schooler. Okay. And if you want your high schooler to uh, look at the resource packs or whatever, that's fine. That's what it is there for. So it's both for mom and high schoolers as far as like the knowledge and know-how and things like that. Uh, Even they're still children, so you're still, kind of need to pass that on to them a little bit, or at least, ask them questions about what they're learning. Just be privy of the information every month. Okay. Um, and with that said, we will be bringing in guest interviews, so like expert interviews, because like I said, I'm not an expert in everything. I know, it's surprising. No, just kidding. But we will have expert interviews like Leah Horton with the Horton Test Prep. She was a speaker in one of our previous summits, and she's just an expert, master expert in scholarships and grants and test prep. Well, Horton Test Prep, that's her business. And so special expertise master people like that are going to be brought in throughout to help really focus on these areas. Okay. Let's see. So that's the high school legacy club. Next is the history club. And the history club is basically we're taking one focused theme, and they're all around a theme. Okay. All of them is themed every month. So the history club is about a theme, and we dive deep in a theme through a monthly content pack, which is just the resource pack of PDF, and then you also have the chat bot for the history club. But it's not only, about like, for instance, for the next 2 weeks here in the rest of November, we're not talking about colonial era or the American Revolution or anything like that. We're actually talking about multiple perspectives in history, about two sides of a story, that kind of thing. So I don't know really how to describe it about the history club, but it's not your usual history curriculum focus. Okay. It's more about, for instance, I think it's in January when we were talking about historical storms, and like Katrina, 9/11, things like that, like historical things, but we don't exactly narrow in on just one era, if that makes sense. I mean, we might like later or something, but right now it's just really more focused on things that are outside of history curriculum, I guess you could say. So that's the history club, and then the nature study club, basically the same thing. So we're going to be focusing on something naturey, and then it has a chat bot with that. Um, as far as the nature study club goes, it's so pretty and colorful, and I can dive deep into how trees work and things like that. So it probably is your standard nature study, unit study kind of thing. So I'm not sure how to look outside the box with the nature study like we could with history, you know, but it probably won't be like every month your standard nature study. And like I said, I have the months already mapped out. But as far as like the themes every month that I've already mapped out, um, it is a piece of nature that you dive deeper in with your kids. And all the content packs, can be applied across all the levels too. Okay. So that's the nature study. And like this, the next 2 weeks, it's falling for leaves, and then next month in December is tracks in the snow, like animal tracks and things like that. All right. So that's the nature study club. And then we have the scripture club. We already have a free Bible study that's in our community that you're more than welcome to join. But the scripture club, it goes beyond that because we'll have tons of Bible study units and lessons created. I don't know what like got into me, but over the past few years, I had created a few lessons here and there. And I just saved them in my files. So I don't even have them in my stores or my shop or anything. So I actually have, it's pretty much, I had been preparing for the scripture club for a few years. Actually, if you want to think about it like that. But I have a lot of resources for Bible lessons and Bible studies. Um, sorry about that. And things, like faith and biblically that you can dive deeper into. And this Bible study, the Scripture Club, is mostly for moms, but we will have kid resources there as well. Okay. So I think it's important to include your kids when it comes to that kind of thing too. But the Scripture Club, it is primarily, for us moms so that we can grow closer to God as we homeschool our kids. But even like I said, with that said, there are still going to be faith resources. Okay. And then the Scripture Club comes with Elena, the encourager. So she's a chatbot and she's my favorite one. So I really like her. And she tells me all the time that I'm a good mom. so, so I like her. So the Scripture Club comes with an encouraging chatbot. Okay. And then the audio club, um, it is where it's not doesn't have any content packs or anything like that. But I remember a few years ago, and I thought it was the coolest thing. There was some kind of membership or something. I think I was actually it was quite a few years ago. I haven't seen it since or anything like it since. Okay. But it was this membership that had uh audio ebooks, of the classics and other things all through it, and I just really liked that. I don't know why. I just really liked having that audio element to our homeschool because it's just another format, just another way that your kids can learn something, especially if they're auditory learners and they prefer audiobooks, things like that to listen to. Or it can be, the read aloud sub, or it can just be like your reading time. Because from what I understand, science says that even listening to audiobooks uses the same part of your brain as it does when you're reading the book. Although I think reading books with the words helps better with vocabulary, but I don't know. They are listening to the words in audiobooks too. So I don't know. I'll have to look deeper into that and I'll let y'all know. But I know that audiobooks and audio clips are just a really good way to just help complement your homeschool. And I think is the coolest thing, really. In addition to that, so we'll have monthly audio drops. Okay. In addition to that, I'll have a private podcast that's strictly for the Homeschool Momentum Club and the Audio Club. But that's next year, so that's probably in January. But that's my plan to have that with it. And those are the clubs, and every club has unlimited resources to its specific subject. So with the Scripture Club, as I upload things every month, you'll have unlimited access to everything I upload. So you won't be restricted month to month. So let's say, some memberships, they upload, I don't know, 5 or 10 things, or okay, how about this? Some memberships upload a unit study and then they restrict all the other unit studies. So every month you just get access to that one unit study kind of thing. But that's not how I wanted this to go. I just don't. So basically, you'll have unlimited access to everything we upload from previous and just whatever that's extra and bonuses that I upload, presently or in the future. So you'll have access to everything in every subject past. And then, and we have actually 7 chatbots. So let me see if I can show you our chatbots real quick. Um, let's see, go here. Let's see if I can. I wonder if I can share a image, but I'm not sure. Let me just pull it up then real quick. You would think I could share an image. Actually, I think I can. Hang on just a second. Let me look real quick. Private chat, virtual background, media. Okay. And then I'm going to upload this. Okay. And then we're going to pick the chat bots. All right. This is okay so far. Winning. Let's see. Okay. And then this one. Let's see. Hang on just a second, Scout. I don't know. It should be over there. Okay, and then this. Can we click it? Okay, yeah, that's good enough, I think. All right, let me switch to. Oh, I think you know what? I think yeah, that's right. It's because that is the background. So let me get my head out the way. Here we go. All right, figured it out. So these are our chatbots. So we have Tessa, the lesson planner, and she's going to help plan your lessons and your rhythm and your routine and your schedule and all that good stuff. So she also, like I said, plans your lessons. They've been upload or not uploaded, but they've been built with brains. Let me just say that. So and I will upload them after this. But this is Tessa, the lesson planner, and she's pretty cool. She's pretty knowledgeable. I like her. Then we have Ruby, the activity creator. And what's really cool about her is that she can create these activities for you. And sometimes she can create the printables too, which was really cool. And I tested her against a few other chatbots and custom GPT things and all this stuff, and they couldn't seem to do it. It was weird. But Ruby, the activity creator, could. So I thought that was really neat. And that was my aim. But I think like realistically, there is almost there's a few things out there that can create like the printables and stuff like there is, but as far as like from AI, like from ChatGPT or Gemini, there's not, but there's other things out there like that can generate worksheets and things like Magic School or there's a few other ones actually, but Ruby, she can create the activities like the printables, but they're not like snazzy. You'll have to still copy and paste into Canva if you wanted it pretty. Or you can just, she can actually she can export it into a Word document too. And then you can just print it out like that as well. So, or she can just tell you what kind of activities that you can do surrounding different subjects. But Ruby is pretty knowledgeable about different activities that you can use to complement your lessons. And then we have Elena, the encourager, the one I said I liked, and she's my main boo. I really like her. And she is very I don't know, I had built her in a way that she is full of affirmations and very positive, nothing negative, extremely supportive, that kind of stuff. And so Elena is really there. Oh, wait, you can't hear me? Can you hear me talk? Let's see. Let's see. Could you hear me talking? Oh, okay. Let's see. Could you hear me talk about the chatbots? Oh, okay. Good. Let me go back to my thing. Okay. And you can still hear me, right? Okay. Um, okay, so that's Elena the Encourager. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been talking this whole time. All right, thank you. Let me know if you have a problem still with, like, hearing me. Um, all right, and then we have Sage the Historian Mom. Excuse me. She is, just very knowledgeable in history, eras, just really anything that you wanna learn. That I got an idea from her because there is a resource out there that can help you create history and study guides, different things like that, and I really liked it, and so it's not the same as hers, of course, I didn't mirror. I don't even know what she used to build it with, but I liked the idea to help moms with their history lessons, but hers was more geared towards business people where they can create these study guides and then sell them, that kinda thing. So, this one is just the one I made is more for, homeschool moms to help with their history lessons and what to like different ideas for what you can do in your history lessons because I know a lot of homeschool moms they don't purchase a history curriculum like I don't either, but and we build our own kind from, different like eclectically from different resources, and we'll pull it and we'll put it together. Some don't, and whatever, that's fine. Or, even if you use a history curriculum and you still want to supplement it with some activities or ideas or whatever, then you have Sage the historian. So she'll help you with that along with virtual historical tours and museums, which is pretty cool. So that is Sage. And if you ever wanted like a picture of somebody, she can pull up a picture of them. So if you wanted like, I don't know, a picture of uh what's that Ross lady that was on the bus? I can't even think of her name now. Whatever. If you wanted a picture of Alexander Hamilton, because there's a big old musical play about him on one of the streaming channels, and my daughter's just obsessed with Alexander Hamilton now, and she always references it all the time. But if you wanted something like that, like a picture of him or more information or dive deeper or something like that, then she'll do it. And she's not taking what everybody else is saying. Like none of them. They don't take what they find online and like regurgitate it and spin it. She pulls sources, okay, from like the Smithsonian Open Access Library or the Congress Library or the archives, different things like that. So she's pulling legit resources and not just like, yeah, that's it, Rosa Parks, and not like, everybody else's opinions. Okay. It's not like that. So it's more very factual most of the time. So, but you'll still have to double check the AI, if you think something's off. And that's just how it goes normally anyway. And then we have Enya, the high school mentor, and she helps you, with your high school prep. So I had initially created a chat bot that you would have to click out of and go somewhere else. But then I made this one that was in ChatGPT. And I think she's great. So she's very knowledgeable. So any kind of other questions that you might have or ideas that you might have or anything as far as your high schooler goes, then you can ask Enya, the high school mentor. Okay. And then we have, and you're more than welcome to share these with your kids too. Like if you have high schoolers and and they dabble in, AI or chat GPT or whatever, you can share the link like to the high school mentor so that they can specifically, she's specific about high school things. Okay. I'm not sure, if like, I didn't build her with all the knowledge in the world about high school curriculum. I built her just like the club for, knowledgeable about scholarships or prepping for college or prepping for high school. But in that same sense, she can still access legitimate resources to help with curriculum and lesson plans that's specific to your high schooler if you wanted to. So that is pretty cool. Um, but as far as lesson plans, I would do Tessa the lesson planner for specific lesson plan things. And then we have Ivy, the nature study guru, and she's just everything about nature study. So whatever, maybe if we do like like she knows everything about nature study that you might want to ask for whatever reason. So she's very knowledgeable and things like that. Now the idea is, as we do, like you can use these anytime, but then we have the resource packs too. So in addition to the content resource packs, if you want to dive deeper on something that's not included in the resource pack and you just want to continue on with something, that you liked in the resource pack that I didn't cover, then you can use one of these chat bots to just continue the lessons if you wanted to. Or, like I said, if you wanted to create your own lessons or you wanted, questions answered or whatever the case may be, you can use these however you see fit. And I really liked them and I created these myself, even the images, and I thought it was cool. So very cool, I thought. But these are the chatbots. And then I have the seventh one I mentioned, the scope and sequence chatbot. And I didn't make a face with her. In fact, I needed something specific personally, as far as you know, and this chatbot, the scope and sequence one, it is created to know what your high schooler, middle schooler, elementary schooler, preschooler should learn, okay? Through grade levels, through ages, and she can spit out different, they call it domains, for like overarching topics or concepts. Like one domain could be the American Revolution. Another domain can be the Reformation, the Renaissance. Okay. Those were like domains, but she can tell you the concepts, tell you what your child needs to learn according to their age or grade level, or if you want to merge things, you can. If you have multiple kids that you want to teach, or if you have multiple kids, you can get her to spit out, separate ones. Or if you want to merge them and teach them together, she can create exactly like what your child needs to learn. And I created this too. And I created this for me personally, so I can quit referencing the home learning year by year book like all the time. And I still do, of course, I have to do that because I make my own history and stuff. But besides just that, I just wanted more focused information that the other books didn't cover. I wanted more details and ideas about the concepts that they need to study and different things like that. So, also, if you're in a state where you have to learn certain concepts by certain grade levels, then this scope and sequence bot is truly a time saver and it's a treasure. And I'll upload that as well. And no, she didn't get a name, but maybe I could name her. I don't know, but I'll just upload her. But these are the chat bots. Okay. So now I'm going to jump into the curriculum or the platform so that we can tour it. And then that will be it because I want to respect your time. So let's go to this. Okay. Hang on. Let's go. Okay, there it goes. All right. I guess she can stay in the background because it is just a background image. So let me make this bigger. There we go. Let's make it more bigger. Okay, can I do this? All right, we can do that. And this maybe? Okay, no, let's not do that. All right, I'll just make myself smaller. Okay, and then I'll just make this one bigger. Okay, stop. Actually, let's do this. Okay, that's so much better. Ah, Susie, Sassy, or Sissy? Scope and sequence. That one's good. I like that. I might do Sissy because it's a little unique, but Sassy is good too. I have an Aunt Susie, so it would feel weird calling her Susie. Let's see. I'm just going to change the background now a little bit. Okay. make this bigger. Okay. I'm sharing my whole screen, so I want to make sure you can see everything. Okay. All right. Hopefully you can see everything. Go over here. All right. So let me double check something really quick because I just want to make sure that it is where I want it, like it's looking like I want it to look like real fast. But while that loads, so this is the, hopefully you can see this, but this is the, okay, yeah. Too bad I can't like look at the chat. I'll have to go over there. I have to switch back and forth with the chat. Actually, I can see the chat right here on my phone. So let's do that. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I can see the chat on my phone. All right. So this is the community. As you enter the community, if you're brand new, this is what it will look like. Okay. And the home page is over here, and the menu is along the left-hand side. Okay. So this is the menu. Okay. All right. And then if you want to change your profile or your notifications, you will go hover on the right corner where your head's at, and then go to profile details, which captured the details that you submitted when you first joined the community. Okay, so these are the details that you did. And then your profile also includes all the posts you've ever done, all the comments you've ever commented, and the events that you've RSVP'd to. So if you ever wanted to go back to a post that you did or check comments on a post instead of shuffling through, you can just go to your profile and look at posts. And if you want to make sure that you RSVP to the events or which ones you've done in the past or whatever the case may be, you can always go there and click into it, and I'll pull up the past event, that kind of stuff. So I try to put the replays in the past events, but I also upload them in the library. So it's in two places. So if you ever wanted to see the replay, you can also just go here and go to events, or you just go to the library. But then here's the notifications that you can do. So if you don't want to be notified by every single comment or every single post, then you would change some of the, let's see, right here. So down here, oh, well, that's community admin. Okay, never mind. Actually, I have this set globally, so you don't get new post notifications like for every single thing. So you don't get that, which is good because it can be kind of overwhelming. But as far as like these daily ones, um, I would do that so you don't miss what happened or what I've uploaded daily in the community. And so I had it set before where you couldn't see it, but now I have it set where you can see everything that I've uploaded. You'll get an email or a notification on your app if I've uploaded something one day. It normally happens the next day. I'll let you know what was uploaded the day before. And so that you know, you are up to speed in what's been uploaded. It's presently, it's real time, so that kind of thing, so you can go check it out. So that's what the daily digest emails are for, so that you just get a daily summary of everything that happened in the community. And as far as like upcoming events, things that are happening. You could change it here and your event reminders, everything like that. So this is where you would notify or you would change your notifications. Okay. So just if you just remember, if you click no on something, just know you won't get that notification about that thing. So if you do want to get notified when you are mentioned somewhere, then make sure this is yes, for example, that kind of thing. So I do recommend you have it daily set, but if daily is too much for you to know what's going on in the community, then you can actually change this to weekly. I think every 14 days might be a little much, but then again, if you just want to pop in monthly, download everything once a month, maybe you want to change this to monthly. If you don't want to use the community support aspect of it and you just want the resource things of it, then I could see you doing that like monthly or every 14 days. But if you want just to be privy about what's going on as far as like the content or just posts or something like, well, yeah, posts it will summarize in the daily digest email. So these would be like the summary of the activities and the posts here. These would be, the library content that's uploaded. So it's up to you if you wanted to change like posts, like different posts, what's going on. It's up to you how you want to see that. All right, so let's go back. So this is the homepage. It's exactly, after you've, joined, this is what you see. And it just is like a summary, a catch-all for everything what's going on. So you have information about the club here. You have any kind of upcoming events that are happening right here. Um, and I'm pretty sure, no, I didn't. Okay. I created some events, but I didn't publish them yet just because I need to make an image for it. But there's some other events that will be here. And when they are upcoming, you'll see all the published upcoming events right here on the homepage. And then you'll see new members. If you are interested in the new members, you might want to click into a member and then check out her. It won't look like this for you, but check out her profile details, and you might have something in common with another member. So actually I had learned that a lot of communities are very successful and enriching and lovely when all the community members, not all, but when community members chat with each other too. So I do encourage that you learn other members that are in the community, and not just in the Homeschool Momentum Club, but you have access to all the members in the community here too. You can also go to people on the left-hand side in the menu and just learn about other people. Learn if they have a high schooler or if they live near you or if they're interested in the same topics that you are interested in or your kids are interested in. So it's not being nosy, it's just being friendly with a purpose. So that would be something I encourage, just to get to know other members. And then when you scroll down, you have suggested items here, and then you have what is yours. So all of your courses that you're with would be down here on the second row, and all the suggested contents would be on the first row. And that's pretty much the home page. Okay. So it's just like a summary of everything that's happening in the community right now. Then like I said, you have the menu on the left right here. And then you have everything that's the community is right here. So even if you just click in, these are the section headers. Okay. You might not see everything that is on my screen, but these are the section headers. And there are some, these are called channels, the little things, little forum threads, they're called channels. So and they are organized, by a section. So this is the start here, intro, beginner kind of thing section. As new members come and they introduce themselves, I encourage you to, give them a friendly hello and a welcome. So when you're in a new place, it can be kind of, odd feeling. So I just recommend you just give them a little hello whenever they introduce themselves. But these are the channels. So each one brings in its own posts about the topic. So besides the start here, which is where everybody will start if they're new to the community, you will go to the Getting Started channel, and then you would read how to download the community app. There's I believe there's a video tour, and just how to set up the notifications, different things. So this is the Getting Started. This is where you would introduce yourself. And this right here is the main community chat. Oops. And you would primarily use this one just as you have been doing if you've been part of the community. So it's the main chat for everything, you know. Um, and then this is the announcements if there's ever any, specific announcements, and then any questions for support would be there. As far as the membership goes, all right here, I need to change some images, of course, but the membership, I would like see like on this one, I embedded it. So if you didn't catch the membership live, I just embedded it into Homeschool Mom so that you can see, um, you know, that something's live, and that's that. So it's in the history. Um, and so this is the Momentum Club, and anything that has to do with the Momentum Club will go in here. Okay, so like I said, like the membership tour or anything that's specific to the Momentum Club, like content packs that I've uploaded or whatever the case may be. And then every month you get a challenge. So this is where you would access the monthly challenges. Although I'm thinking about putting it in as a pinned post in the Momentum channel, but I'm not sure. But these are to separate it right now, are the challenges. And then you have the High School Legacy Club, you have the Nature Study Club, the History Club. You The Scripture Club, so anything that's specific to these clubs, like the content packs or, anything at all would be in these different ones. But still, the main chat would be the community chat. Okay. So this is more like information. See, let's say you clicked on the Momentum Moms, there are three little tabs here. Okay. So anything that is specific to the Momentum Moms, as far as what's going on in the community, you can access in this little channel here. So this right now is the discussions area. And then you have events tab. So anything that has the events, like our past event would be this right here. See, so any upcoming events would be right there. And then any courses that is linked to the Momentum Moms that you will have access to is right here. So this is what that is. And then we have anything that's specific to the challenges. So if we do have an event about the challenge, it would be pinned right here. And ongoing. So any workshop or expert interviews that we have for the High School Legacy Club will be pinned right here, but it'll also be in the events area right here, which I'll go over in just a second. And on with all the other clubs. Okay. And then the Scripture Club is actually um, an open specific Bible chat for everybody in the community, anybody that wants to join. So there are some channels here that you will have to manually join yourselves because not everybody wants to get Bible posts or Bible studies or anything like that. They don't want to be part of it. And that's totally okay. You either aren't interested, you got a lot to go on, or whatever the case may be. So if you want to be part of the Bible Talk for the Scripture Club, then you may have to manually join the Bible Talk one. Okay. Same with the Bible studies. And then as far as the audio club goes, there's not a specific one in here because it's just audio drops. So that's pretty essentially the audio club is like an audio library, and that will be located in the library, but anything that is dropping with it, I will let you know in the chat. Okay? And then you might see like the kids corner and all this right here. Just an extra layer of security since it's kid information. You would have to manually join this if you are already part of the community. So you won't be automatically part of these channels unless you manually join it. So it's just one of those, another added security layer thing. So this is where, if you want your kids to have any pen pals, or if you want to share Roblox information and log in, not log in, but usernames and, different things like that, then you can do that. Same with Minecraft. If your child plays Minecraft, okay, I was about to say that's the wrong image. But if your child plays Minecraft, then you would want to share your Minecraft username, or same with Fortnite. If your child plays Fortnite and it's just another little community that, you can have that added little socialization layer. Um, but little friendship layer, to get to know other homeschoolers, that kind of thing. So that's the kids corner, and it's there if you want to use it. And the recipe exchange that you might see right here, um, I I think it would be a neat idea to exchange recipes. And that's just what I thought of. So I really liked the idea, especially, we feed our kids multiple times a day. And there are so many times where I Google what to make for lunch or dinner or even breakfast. So all the time, it seems I'm doing that. So I think this would be a good idea, a good area to like have meal plans. Anything that you create, you can share as far as any recipes or meal plans or whatever the case may be for that. You're more than welcome to share it here. And I actually have a meal planner resource I plan to share. It's an Excel spreadsheet though, but it's automated kind of thing. Is that if that's something that you want, if you like doing Excel, and I'm sure you can print it out too, but that kind of thing. That would be the recipe exchange. Okay, let's see. All right. So these are our channels. So information, communication, all that's in our channels. Okay. The main one will be the community chat, um, where just everything about anything will go in here. Just as far as like the membership ones, of course, you're more than welcome to post in there specifically if you like. Those are mainly for just so that you're privy about specific things for specifically for the clubs. Okay. So it doesn't get lost, in the chats. So it's separate so that you know exactly what's going on with the clubs and your membership. Okay. All right. The menu is over here on the left. So we already went over the home. The feed is, it takes all the posts on all the channels that you have access to, and it puts it in one long feed. So if you don't want to click by click by click, you can just look at the post that's been posted on the feed one, and that's where everything will be. Okay. Courses, these are just if you have any courses here, it would show up in your courses, and you should have access to all the Summit VIPs here from previous. So you have access to all the workshops and all the summits that we've had here. And I have to move over, I think, 2 or 3 more. But you can look at all the workshops that we've ever done in the summits. Okay. And then the library. Well, let me jump to the events real fast, and then I'll show you the library. So the events is where you found this, so you know exactly where it's at. The events is where you'll find upcoming events, and it's also where you'll see past events. The upcoming events, you can just click into it, RSVP, then there's the link when it's ready, and it'll remind you when the events are coming up. If you have a question about the event, you're more than welcome to share it here, or you can do it in the community chat. But if you want to make it specific for the event and it's right there in front of you, you can just do it right here and it'll show up. Um, let's see. So this is where you would join any live events and RSVP to them. All right, so now the library. The library is organized by categories, okay? And I am doing a big, not a huge overhaul, but an organization, structure, revamp stuff thing. But right now, this is where you can see all of your clubs. I'll add the guide here in the getting started area. Okay, so this is just like when you're getting started homeschool, it kind of helps you with that. The getting started, the scope and sequence library, to help you with, um, it's like in addition to the chatbot. So this is where you can find different things broken down by levels. So you're more than welcome to go to one of them, and it pulls up the PDF about different skills that your child, should learn as far as grade level, if you're going by grade level, and then you can download it here for download. So that's where you can find the skills there, or if you want to, so this is by skill and this is by grade level. So yeah, the one I opened was by skills and it has the recommended level here, but don't even worry about that if you don't even go by grade levels. Okay. So it's just the skill and what skill to learn. And I needed this personally for the history and just to fill any gaps that we have, that kind of thing. So I really liked this. And then as far as the grade level one, for instance, it is by grade level. So it goes by level, what your child could be, learning, that kind of thing. And again, you can download it here. So this is very handy to have. And put into your homeschool mom binder if you have one. So I really like the Scope and Sequence. And you'll also find the Scope and Sequence chat bot there, as well as in its own thing, its own little item inside the Homeschool Momentum Club. So you'll find a chat bot thing here for all the chat bots too. I have it uploaded. I haven't published it, but I think I have 4 or 5 4. I think there's 4 created. So I have to finish the other 2. It's mid done, but not completely done. Because it's a lot of stuff to get ready for the club, but you have more than enough, I think, to settle with right now. But as far as like the crafts in the Homeschool Momentum content pack, and that would be uploaded in the Homeschool Momentum Club. So, and any other additional printables and such that I create during that month, it will be uploaded here. And then, like right now, you have access to a life cycle of a pumpkin craft. And then, like, let's say I uploaded it today, then tomorrow you would get notified that you have this just uploaded and you have access to it. So just like you would have done with the Scope and Sequence, you can click here, it'll tell you about it, or you can just go straight to accessing it and it'll pull up all of the different printables that you can download. Okay. There's a few different sizes of ones, so it's completely up to you what you want to use. So there's variations on options. So the Homeschool Momentum Club and the chat bots and the content, the content pack that will be uploaded here. Same with the High School Legacy Club, but it'll have the printables for high school through here, as well as the content pack. It also has the high school bookshelf. Okay. The high school bookshelf, I have the books, ebooks, I'm ready to upload. So there's a lot of upload and a lot of things that got finished. And so that's what I'll be doing throughout the week this week is upload, 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 upload. But primarily, I want you to have the content packs first and foremost, because we have 2 weeks in November. So I've had to condense it down to 2 weeks, and then you'll have a full month in December, that kind of thing. So, so like this is the Scarlet Letter. It's a classic. It's an ebook, and you are more than welcome to download it if you like. Well, I need to enable the download. You're more than welcome to download it, or you can pull it up in the app and then read it that way, or you can print different pages as you go about it if you want to, or you can turn this into like you can download the PDF and then read it on like your Kindle or on your iPad or on your phone in iBooks. And what I do with PDFs like this, I actually open them in iBooks or in Kindle, and then I can read it in the Kindle app or in the iBooks app. I have like my iBooks app is it organizes by collections, like category topics. And so I have lots of PDFs that I store in my iBooks that I read that are ebooks. That makes sense. So you can download this PDF and open it in iBooks or open it in the Kindle app so that you can read it or your kids can read it. Okay. Or you can print page by page, or you can read it in here. It's up to you. But you would find a lot of different books in here, as as well as I have a few curriculums for history, and I actually have some high school math curriculum as well. As far as these curriculums go, no, I didn't make it. I'm not an expert. Okay. But they are available for use for everybody. And so that's why I'm sharing it with you. So it's not like I personally bought it. Now I'm sharing it with you. It's not like that at all. So I don't want to, do that. But as far as like if it's open for everybody to use, then yeah, then I'm going to share it here as far as the high school curriculum, especially if you want to save money on curriculum. You just use that resource along with the scope and sequence and just make sure it all lines up. And there you go. There's your math curriculum or your history curriculum, or you can use some of it, whatever the case may be. So that is the high school bookshelf where you'll have high school related things in here. You'll have also like different guides. And just different resources, okay, for your high school bookshelf. And then we also have it separately here. So not only do I have it separately? Okay. So high school bookshelf. So I added the high school bookshelf itself, this item, okay? I added it as um a category, so you can also access it like this, okay? It'll also be its own thing. And as far as like different items, not sure if I will like create um I might restructure it in a different way. So, it's right there for right now. And if I do change it, I'll let you know. But instead of like mashing it all up like in here, like mashing it all up like everything in one big long line, I was thinking about uploading it like related things. So ebooks would have its own thing. And then, reading logs would have its own thing. So it's basically taking what would be in here and like distributing it out into its own items, if that makes sense. I don't know. It might be easier to access, but we'll see how that goes. All right. And then we have the history club. Same thing. You would have the history content pack in here. You would have any primary resources uploaded, anything that's available and uploaded throughout the month would be in the history club or in every club. So everything that you see in these clubs are what's going on in the month. Okay. And so you would see the primary sources and, anything that's related to history, like any printables, the content pack, whatever that's related to history club will be in there. Same with the nature study club. So we have the content pack here as far as like the additional printables for the content pack is all through here. So I probably could have uploaded the printables separately now that I'm thinking about it so that so the content pack itself doesn't get lost. So we're still tentative with the structure and the organization, like that best fits for everybody. But for now, it's right here at your fingertips. And then I have the content pack for the nature study. That one's finished. So I need to upload it. And I was trying to earlier, and my computer was messing up, which is why I was late to the meeting today. But yeah, so that's where you'll find all the things that's related to the nature study. Again, you can already use this. This is already available for you. So you can go through it, craft a turkey. Already have the nature study printables available to you now. And then we have the scripture club, which is where you'll find the monthly resources, the monthly Bible study, anything that I'm uploading for the month would be in the scripture club. And we also have like other things in the scripture club, like the book of Revelations, the audio version. I found we're studying book of Revelations a month or two ago or three. And I found the audio version to it. So I thought it was kind of neat. So I added it in the library here. If you ever want to listen to the audio version of Revelations or your kids or in the car or whatever the case may be, the translation is the World English Bible that I found. So, and you can click it and it'll go right here. I'll also have available where you can join the private podcast for the audio club where everything um, certain things will be uploaded according to things. organization thing. But I'll have a private podcast where you can upload that as well. Oh wait, that's okay. That's Audio Club. Okay, Scripture Club. Okay, let's go back to the Scripture Club. You also have the Encourager Corner here, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the Lena that you'll see momentarily. And in the Encourager Corner, if I don't know, if you ever have a day where you need to just like get a pick me up and Elena's not available and you don't want to do AI or whatever, then there are tons of resources here that you can definitely open up and read through it, whether it's an article format or it is a PDF format, you know, um, like this is article format, and then some other ones I think are like this one is a PDF, I believe. No, it's an article. But there's different PDFs that you can are they all articles? I guess I did make a bunch of articles. But yeah, things you can read. But also have things like an upload for the PDFs too, like the affirmation cards and different things. That is just handy to have, you know. Same thing, Mom's Reset Corner. It would be like the same, the Encourager Corner as well. So I put this in both places. It's the same thing. And then I also have for Mom's Reset Corner to have like you know, other affirmations. So like these are other PDFs. And let's see. Aw, wonderful, Jen. I'm glad you joined us. Okay, so and these are the resources for, like I said, like affirmations and that good stuff. So you can absolutely click into it and print it out. Some things I've mined, some things I've created myself. Um, so these are all resources. A lot of things I've created myself, but every now and then I'll find something that's useful that I want to share with you. But this is all right here. Okay. And then we have the audio club, and this is where we will have the monthly audio drops. So you'll find everything here that happens month by month. Okay. And then as far as like the category life skills, so anything that is like life skills related will go into this category. But if it's like high school related as well, I'll add it to the high school category. But in addition to that, you have a lot more other categories that come with the community and the memberships, and you have access, open access to all the resources that are inside this this community. So most of it is not available to any other community members. So all of this I either sell in my shop or I created exclusively for you. Um, and to you for you to have exclusive access to. So just know you have like a big category of overarching things, and then you have the library items that would be inside. Where'd I go? Okay. Yeah. So this is like the category of the faith and Bible. Then you would see it in here. So, which brings me to like what happens to the monthly content packs and the monthly printables once the month is over. I will distribute it into their own categories where they go. Okay. So that it makes room for a new monthly, like what's new this month in the scripture club, what's new this month in the homeschool momentum club, so that you get, so it doesn't get jam packed with everything that's in there. It'll be just focused on what's happening that month. Okay. And then as far as past month and past resources, you'll find them in the categories so that you have access to them forever. It's just not that month's focus anymore. Okay. And so the free resource hub is freebies that you can also download if you like, and it is accessible to our community members here. So this is our free resource hub. And there's a lot of resources here as well. So you're more than welcome to go through here in the free resource hub and, you know, download the stuff. All right. That is about it, I believe, for the Homeschool Momentum Club. Seeing if okay. Um, and everything, we will have live workshops. It'll be in the events and you'll know about it. And then everything will be uploaded in the library throughout this week. And I'm going to upload a ton of things today. That's a lot of things are finished that needs to be uploaded, like lots of things, so that you're ready to go. And then, yeah, just I want you to really just get acclimated with the community. And don't forget to check out the people that are in the community. There's a lot of people that's not in the club, that's in the community. So you can still chat with them and just see, you know, you might meet your long lost friend. But yeah, so just peruse the whole thing, the community. The first thing you should do is definitely do that. And then you should go into each individual club every month to download the packs. Okay. So when a new month comes on the first of the month, you will have new content packs. Okay. You will also have like a schedule. So I have a schedule created and I'll pin it on all of these memberships. So if you want to know what the schedule is for um or what's going on that month, the calendar, I'll have it in the membership pinned here and I'll upload it in the library so that you know what to expect every month and when it's going to come and that kind of thing. You'll know, when workshops are going to happen for like the high school club. Okay. And that is basically, trying to think if that's everything that you should know. But yeah, so drops will be the first of every month. And I'll also upload things throughout the month as extras and bonuses. Okay. As far as, let me jump to here real quick for the monthly themes. Hopefully you can see this now. Okay. All right. These are the monthly themes that we have. Let's see, maybe I can sort it by membership, or maybe it won't. Maybe I can sort it by month. Oops. Okay. All right. So everything that's happening in November, okay, these are the themes that we have going on. Just for you to know, what's up ahead, but I'll create a calendar for you. And then, the November audio drop. As far as, let's see, let me take out the group thing. As far as all the other themes that we have coming up, let me just show you real fast. Yeah, let's do it like this, I guess. I like Airtable to manage data stuff. So all the themes that we have going on would be, so like, let's do theme. Okay. So right now, this month for the Homeschool Momentum Club, it's grace over guilt so that to give yourself grace. And then basically, like the focus, I have the theme focus over here. So like I said, I'll share all this with you just so you know what's up ahead for the themes. And then we have in the Homeschool Momentum Club, this is the Homeschool Momentum Club, we have holiday schooling in December, we have reset in January, and in February, we have self-love. And then we have trials, like whenever you are going, like life isn't perfect. And so that's the idea for this one in March. As to how do you still maintain consistency? How do you still homeschool when things are coming at you all the time? And so that's that one. And then we have the financial aspect as far as like efficient ways for homeschooling financially. And the reason why I did that is because there's a financial theme in every club that I thought, or just about every club that I thought would be neat to share. And so that's the Momentum Club. So this is the High School Legacy Club and those themes. If you have a high schooler, so this 2 weeks would just be planning on purpose. You'll get some information about planning. Then in December, is this December? No. All right, let me sort it by month. Okay. And then December would be a holiday. I guess I didn't fill in that one yet, but would be a holiday one. Actually, I think this one might be better. Yeah. Okay. So this right here is all of the homeschool mom. Okay. This is all of the history. So we'll be learning about traditions in December, the big picture of things in January, thinking like a historian in February. So March would be the financial literacy one. Okay. So financial literacy for teens would be right here. Um, and then nature study themes are right here. And then scripture club themes are right here. Okay. And then audio, that's just monthly drops. So yeah, these are our themes I wanted to show you before we jumped off so that you kind of know, get an idea of what to expect and what is up ahead. And I'll make this calendar for you so you also know what is up ahead. Um, if you have any questions on anything, feel free to let me know. I think that, though, is about it as far as the community tour goes. Um, it's been like an hour and a half, and I didn't want to take too much of your time today. But you can, like I said, you can check out everything that's in here. There's plenty of resources that are open and available to you now. And then I will start or continue. I will continue adding resources to the library for the clubs. And then the monthly challenge. I figure we can officially start the challenge in December since there's only 2 weeks left in November and it's Thanksgiving. So let's just start the challenge in December. As far as everything else, though, you'll see it uploaded. And if not today, then tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Wednesday, as far as the content packs. But everything else will just be uploaded throughout the week that I want to be there for you. And then you'll get new drops on everything every month. Okay. Oh, let me go where I need to go. Okay. All right. Okay. See if I made it back on. So that, in a nutshell, a big hour and a half nutshell, is the community and access that you have now with the Homeschool Momentum Club. Okay. If you have any questions, let me know. I will be more than happy to help you and guide you as you navigate things. If you have any questions now, feel free to let me know and I'll answer any questions that you might have right this second. There is a delay. That's interesting. I'm looking on my phone and I'm still going through the um the themes in Airtable. All right. So let's see. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. You should see content drops today and tomorrow. And in addition to that, printables. So the whole idea is for you not to feel overwhelmed, but for you to feel confident, secure. So hopefully this Homeschool Momentum Club touches almost every aspect, just about, of homeschooling. So, as far as home management goes, that could be in the momentum area. But I wanted this to be a place for you to not have to pick and choose and piece together from different areas. And, it might not be the end all be all community or resource hub right now. But ultimately, as it goes on, I would like it to have enough resources there for it to be um, that have all the information that you would need to have, to answer your questions for homeschooling. So it's not the end all be all right now, but it should help you as you navigate homeschooling for the moment, for the theme. So each month is by theme. Okay. So as far as that theme goes, it should be good. But it will build up over time. And you have the front seat row as far as what's coming and what you now have access to every single month with additional things, additional resources. So if you don't have a high schooler now, you have plenty of resources for your high schooler in the future. Um, and all the content packs are multi-grade or multi-ages. So it's not just one or the other. So you'll see plenty of different various or a variety of activities by different grade levels, like littles and middles and high school. Okay. Um, but yeah, I believe that is about it. So hopefully it's not information overload, and hopefully you're more excited than overwhelmed. But I really encourage you just to go through and just get comfortable in the community. Start off by introducing yourself. Um, on top of that, you can make your own post on what you're excited about the Homeschool Momentum Club, what you want to get out of it, and I would love to read your posts for that. And then don't forget to check out other people's profiles too. And then you might want to, send them a DM because you have access to direct messaging in the community as well. Or you can just tag them in a post, if you want to talk to them too. So, anyways, let me go ahead and get off. And I'm going to upload this replay for everyone who wasn't able to come on live today. But thank you so much for joining me live today. I hope that you have a better idea and understanding now of how the Homeschool Momentum Club, how it works and what it all contains. Okay. So it is my joy to do this and learn right alongside you, but it's been really my joy to provide information and pass it on to you. And I just really want homeschool moms. There's just so much information out there, and you can get lost in translation and just so much stuff. And sometimes you get a little bit more overwhelmed and you find more answers than what you were looking for, and then that gives you the problem of indecision. So hopefully this is a place where you can feel a lot more comfortable and confident for your homeschooling journey. So all right. I'm going to go ahead and get off and upload the replay. But thank you again so much for being here. And if you have any questions, feel free to, let me know. And like I said, introduce yourself or make a post in the main chat. Let everybody know what you're excited about and what you want to get out of the Homeschool Momentum Club. And I'd love to read what you write. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much. And I will talk to you soon, and I'll see you in the community.